I thank the chairman, the ranking member, very much, and I will now yield myself the customary 5 minutes. My time is short, Mr. Uh, Carvajal and Carvajal. Thank you so very much, and so I appreciate your respect of that. Following the deaths of 2 inmates in the U.S. Penitentiary in Beaumont, Texas, on Monday, all BOP facilities have had a lockdown. Can you explain the decision to institute the lockdown, the national lockdown, and how long inmates confined to their cells during the 24-hour period? If you can just give a brief answer on that, we'll take a longer one in writing. Director?
Yes, Congresswoman, a decision to lock down the entire agency is a serious one. We did it because we felt we needed to find out what's going on. I won't get into specific operational things, but the groups involved, there's approximately 2,500 in our custody spread throughout the agency. We need to make sure that we separate them and secure them. I'm hoping that the lockdown will be short-lived. We do not like keeping inmates, again, in their cells, and we will do our best to get them out as quickly, but keeping safety of everyone in mind.
Thank you. If you would give this committee an update on the moment that the lockdown stops, we would appreciate it for all of the members. Following up, Beaumont Low in Texas, a low security facility, currently has 10 infected inmates, 942 inmates who have recovered from COVID. That seems very high. Out of 1,974 total inmates, including the camp and the correctional institution, which includes low offense individuals. That is almost half of the inmate population that has been infected with COVID-19. 20 staff are COVID positive right now, and 40 have recovered. How many inmates were placed into home confinement from FCI Beaumont Low? How many inmates were released under compassionate relief from FCI Beaumont Low? Are older inmates at low security facilities such as FCI Beaumont Low given priority to be assessed for release under the CARES Act, Compassionate Relief, or First Step Act? If so, what age inmates are given priority? If not by age, are any inmates at FCI Beaumont Low given priority to be assessed for release? You can answer the last question first, please.
Hey,
Director?
Yes, Congresswoman. I don't have the exact data for every specific institution at Beaumont Low. We can certainly get you that data. I know we have it. I just don't have it off the top.
Thank you. Do you use the CARES Act? Is that ongoing to be utilized to date, since it is still operable in law? Do you use that?
Absolutely. We continue to screen inmates for appropriate placement on CARES Act.
And under the CARES Act, with your discretion, individuals do not have to meet the 50% time of their sentence. Is that correct?
That is one of the criteria, along with others. There's only 4 hard criteria.
But it's correct that they do not have to meet a 50% incarceration rate of their sentence.
In instances like that, we do have the discretion. There usually is a higher level review. If the staff at the institution feel that it is appropriate outside of the CARES Act, we have procedures in place to review cases such as that.
Yes, but you have that authority. Mr. Manafort and Mr. Cohen, to your knowledge, did not have 50% of their sentence. Is that correct?
I'm not going to talk about individual specific cases, Congresswoman, but we have procedures in place. We have a committee that reviews them, and I can certainly go through that process if you'd like.
Thank you. I would appreciate it if you could provide us in writing, if you're not going to discuss it, on the individuals released under the 50% rule. Let me ask you, what are you doing to prevent more COVID-19 deaths in the BOP facilities?
Congresswoman, we have been in lockstep with the CDC and other entities from day one. We're doing the same thing that everyone else in the country and the world is doing. We're learning from and learning how to mitigate this virus. As stated earlier, that it's hard to social distance inside a prison. We've learned from that. That's why we appreciate the ability under CARES Act to transfer people out, because we were able to lower our population in those low security facilities as the one you described, who it's harder to maintain. We're following CDC guidance. We do everything in collaboration with them. And frankly, our pandemic plan actually assisted in writing the correctional guidance for the pandemic.
Thank you, Director. And I'll get the rest in writing. Thank you very much. Are you aware of the racially disparate impact of the pattern risk assessment tool, and that inmates of color may be more likely to be scored as high risk than white? And with this in mind, have you considered revising the threshold cutoff between risk categories, which would enable more individuals to earn credits for an early release and maximize the benefits of the First Step Act and take away the racial disparity that we see very clearly? Director?
As Congresswoman, I want to stress one thing, the pattern tool, the BOP did not develop. It's developed by NIJ and approved by the Attorney General. We are aware of changes. We appropriately make those adjustments and rescore inmates anytime there's a change, and we work with the department to do that. We are the end user of that tool. We did not create it.
Finally, do you think it would help inmates on the compassionate relief if BOP filed the motions rather than the inmates?
Congresswoman, as I stated earlier, we don't have the authority to independently release someone. We work with the Department of Justice, and we make recommendations to the court. The judiciary makes the final decision, and we do make staff available to gather documents. We work with the attorneys, we work with the public defenders, and the courts to ensure that all the documents are available so that we can go. It's just not a quick process. That's what people need to understand. The compassionate release process is a difficult one, and it has to be done individually. Each individual case has to be fully considered under its unique circumstances. It's not a fast process.
Thank you. My time has expired. Thank you very much. We will pursue that with you. I now yield 5 minutes to the gentleman